ready. So guys, let me know, like, have you installed Anaconda and VS Code?
Yes.
Okay, so you can practice there also, and I mean later on we will need some kind of ID in our system, which is like works in all kind of scenarios which we do. But for Python and for some scenario, if for example your environment is still not in a ready state, then I will also show you one cloud tool which is very easy to use, and also it support Python. It already has Python installed. We just need to go there and we can start using that. I think let me think, like, do you know about Google Colab? Or yeah, I will explain that code tool. So this is like we'll continue and we will try to like cover our Python basics today. And Python advanced will be actually not specific to, I would say, Python advanced could be like a general Python advanced, but in our case it will be data engineering specific. So whatever we use in data engineering, I will be showing you the Python code of that, and our focus will be to understand the code from that perspective. So it will give us a better exposure. So for Python basics, we will use this tutorial. This is very nice tutorial to understand the basics also. So we will repeat some steps which we did: list, dictionary, function, and loop, and then also some new concept will come. So, and let me first show you the tool which I'm talking about, which you can use for practice here in the session. Okay. So you need to go collab.research.google.com. I'm also pasting in WhatsApp. So you need to like sign in from Gmail, and once you go there, you can click on this new notebook, and it will like open a Jupyter notebook in cloud. So it's from Google, and it's a free tool. They now have some paid version for more features, but yeah, all the features that we need we can easily get in free version. So this is like very nice tool. So once you go here, you need to click on connect, and also if you want, you can also like rename the title and all. For example, I would say Python basics. We say session 2. So it is connecting. It takes, I think, few seconds to connect. In the behind the scenes, actually it is like getting this kind of computing and a virtual machine on the cloud. So once we get that, I mean the Python will be installed there automatically. So we can use that directly. For example, if I say print hello world and execute, hit enter, it will like print that. So here we will be running our code in that case. For me also, I will be using that for showcasing, and I will share this notebook also so that you can follow along. And the same thing actually work in our ID. Both are same, but we generally prefer ID because most of the time you will see that this environment will work. But in some cases, actually, like for example, when we need to use some command line features, so this actually doesn't work. So therefore, we prefer IDs. So, but here also, this is like your cells, and then you can also execute by this play button. For example, if I click on this, it will like execute my code. And again, it support two kind of cell, code and text. So text is a markdown kind of stuff, and then it has you can if you click on it, you can get the tree, like your files. So you can see that currently there is a sample data available here, and it automatically comes in by default. And you can also navigate, for example, bash command and all. If you know, like mkdir for creating a folder. So when we create the folder will come here. So we can also execute the bash command. with exclamation mark. So that is something we will keep repeating, but for now our focus is on Python. So this is like the only window that you can use, and other three are like not that much important. Only this one is like for navigation even, and you can close it from here. Now let's go to our learning side, tutorial side. We quickly, I mean, I will be jumping around and showing you only the main things that we need to understand. So first of all, they're talking about the list, dictionary, and booleans. So you already have some idea about the data types, like booleans is like true, false, and these two we covered, list and dictionaries. So let's see what they are saying. So they are saying, okay, Python notebook, they are explaining input, output, yeah. Also, let me paste this link in WhatsApp so that you can also go through this after the session. And also in detail, if you need, like theory and all, you can read here. This is very nice theory they write. So your session like notebook they're explaining, then they are okay. Python object, now they're starting like, okay, they are mentioning list, dictionary, and the series and data frame. So these two are like mainly pandas, and we also going through pandas thing, which is very, very important in data engineering. So we'll understand these two data types, series and data frame, which panda support. And dictionary and list are also like we use a lot. So it's like common data types. So list is something like this, right? Cities you can mention here. So here we are creating a cities, a list of cities where Tokyo, Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco. So these are like four values we are putting in our list. And when you execute this print cities, you will get this output, right? And also now slicing. So let's understand slicing, or let's with real-time practice also. If I place it here and I say cities, you are getting this, but they're talking about slicing. For example, if I say, let's say you want to get only this particular New York. So would you, anybody would like to try, like uh, here we like to like get the index of that. So index means like, what do you think, like to get the New York value only out of this list, what should I write? Is it uh, 2, 3? So generally the idea that why I'm asking is because in Python things start with 0. I think yesterday also we discussed. So 0, index 0 will be Tokyo, 1 will be Los Angeles, 2 will be our value. So if I put 2 here, it will like be, it's called slicing. So we can slice our list, and only that particular value we can get. So here in this case, when we mention like this, it is printing our only one value. And again, slicing also works in a range. So for example, if you say 2 to 3, so what do you, I mean, what is your guess, like what is your output?
New York and San Francisco.
Okay, anybody else also put the opinion? Okay, so here the logic will be like in Python, what the list do, they do not consider the last index. It's like before the last index. So it's pretty strange at the beginning when we start Python, but what happens in index of Python list, they do not consider the last one, like 3. So there is like 2 to 2 only. So it's like whenever you mention the last one, just remember that it's like the maximum index. And if you also want to print the last one, so you need to also place the plus one, like add one more index there, so that it's like 2 to only this minus 1, whatever the index is. Now if I want to print this one, so what is your guess, like if I want to print New York 2 and also the fourth one, so what should I write? I just need to write like 4, right, plus 1. So that will print me like both this and this. Now there is another shortcut in Python. I mean, instead of mentioning the last index, because sometimes it is hard to calculate. For example, if you have 46 total values. So first you need to check your length of the list, and then you need to mention that. So Python actually helped there, and they said just leave it empty instead of providing max. If you put it empty, we will automatically guess, okay, this is a max one. So this also we can do in that case. So it's like shortcut, and for our help only, like we can also leave it blank if you want to print all the element up to last from here. So it's like these are our slicings. And then there is also like one keyword, length. So it's like len, and in bracket, if you put your list, it will tell you the total length of the list. So that way we can know how many elements are there. So slicing, I think these are like some concept which you use in slicing. And slicing, your negative slicing is also sometimes confusing. So what happens? Python also support, like you can slice from the back. So for example, let's say these are only 4 elements, but it could be 200 elements also. So if you want to get something from the last, like second element from last, so how can you do that? Like you need to again calculate mentally, right? Like, okay, second element from last will be like total length plus this and all that. So Python again help here. So what they say that you can use minus sign also if you want to reverse get something from the back end of the list, like from the last. So let's say cities, and here we will say the last element. So last element will be -1. Just like in a number series actually is like minus, for example, -5, -4, right? And then -3, -2, -1, then 0, then 1, 2, something like so. This 0, 1, 2 is like normal series which we have list, but this reverse one actually is like backward. So if you put cities -1, it will be the last element. So to access the list from reverse, we can also use -1. And again, the same logic will work. And so if I ask you what will be the second object from last, so it will be cities -2, right? Cities -2 will work. Now the interesting thing will be like how can you get this same thing by using the back index, like minus indexes? So what should I write here? I mean, you need to get from something from the last, like the question then will be like get the last 2 elements. So it will be like -2 to all the last elements, something like this. So it will be like -2 again will be like we are just referencing the index. So this indicate that it's just a reference. Like -2 will be which index. And once we get that index, Python actually is helping us to convert the -2 automatically a positive number for us. So behind the scenes, what I mean, they are obviously using some high level logic to maybe make it more efficient, but generally you can understand that, okay, this is some kind of indexing that they are doing. So instead of getting from 0, 1, 2, 3, -2 will be this one, and then this and the from the last up to last. This is like minus indexing also. It could be confusing, so make sure you understand it. And I think this covers the list, some basic elements of list. Let's see what next idea we can get from there. Yeah, so they have list, and then accessing the element, they mentioned 0, 1, 2, and then that's it. So they are not explaining anything much, but yeah, I think maybe later they can explain all that. So, but this is something which is very important, like minus, plus, and all. Initially, it is confusing, but later on, I mean, after some practice, you will feel I mean, it will be very easy for you. Like I also, like when I started Python, I faced a lot of difficulty to understand list, like minus, plus, and all that. But once you practice, it will like it will look very comfortable to work with. Then in dictionary, they are saying, okay, they are creating one dictionary, key value pair, and then yeah, they are printing it, and then they are again reading the value. This I think we tried yesterday also on one list. So we put a dictionary and then we get the value. So let's try this. I mean, here the key value pair actually will work. So just like index, here this is also kind of index, but the index also has a name. So it's like the key and the value. So when you mention the key, the value will come in a dictionary. So it's like getting the value, you can mention the key name. So dictionary is actually good for that, key value pairs. And also they are saying that, okay, we can change the value. So if you just put in this key this value, then the dictionary actually will update automatically. Now they are saying they update the value here and this will come here. Earlier it was San Francisco was 1837,442, and now this, yeah, so now the new number is here. And now, okay, they are again saying that we can add even more element there directly by mentioning a new key. And then combining object, okay, it's like one list here and then another list. So it's like this is key, and this is like they are saying we can combine dictionary and list also. So it's like key is New York City and this is a value. Value is a list. It's not a single string, but just like a string, we can also mention other data types. So list is also one data structure. So we can also mention in the value the whole list. So whenever you mention New York City, so let me like create a small questions here. Yeah, so let's say, yeah. So if I write like this, and I will say Tokyo. So like what will be the value? Like what is the output of this? Pavan, Ravi, would you like to answer like what should be the output or this?
Some number will come.
Okay, Ravi. Okay, so basically like dictionary is like key value pair. So let me give you a hint. So let's say I have a dictionary called this, and I have A and 1 2 3, then B and 1 2 4 1 3 4. So if I say X of A, the value will be 1 2 3, because it's like getting the value from the given key. So it's like the whole purpose of dictionary is like for the given key, I want that value. So we can get that. Similarly here, if I am putting a key here at Tokyo, so now would you like to like change your answer or like based on this information? Okay, so basically Tokyo is a key here, this one in this dictionary, and the value is this list. So the output will be this list, right? So let's execute and check. So yeah, so because this value is here, this list, therefore you can see the whole list as output because that particular key has this value. So this is how dictionary works. Now let's get some more ideas from there. Okay, they are saying input. Yeah, I mean, I think they are actually trying that exact thing. Okay. Okay, then they are saying this is also nice, like again a bit advanced concept on top of this, which is also nice integration. Like they are saying, let's say out of this dictionary, you want to get only this particular value. So like if I ask you to write the code here, what will you write? We can also like make it collaborative session because they actually support like multiple people can join and collaborate. So if you want, you can also like join here and directly type here if you want. So let me like, yeah, viewers can edit. Yeah, now you can actually edit this notebook. So if you go to this link that I shared, uh, did I share the link? Let me check. Oh yeah, let me share this. Yeah, so it's optional, but if you want, you can join this notebook and we can like you can enter the code in real time to check if that is the correct one. So our goal is to print this particular value. So what will be your answer, like what you write to get this value as output, this particular string? These are very
Uh,
typical scenarios. I mean, we use it a lot in coding.
we didn't
Yeah.
get the link yet. We didn't get the link yet.
Oh yeah, in you are in WhatsApp, right? Some group
Yeah,
name is person.
no, we are not in any group.
No, experts, they are not in the WhatsApp group. Actually, I send it to the Dev. He will send me.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me share the link to you. Tahir, can I share the link to you then? Like,
Yes, yeah. Just the two link that you have shared, I already shared with them.
okay. So the basically this third one, if like, but I mean, yeah. For now, let's like you can tell me. I will write. So like, what will be your answer? Like, my goal is to print this particular value. Shibuya.
Uh, municipalities,
Okay.
square bracket Tokyo,
Hmm.
uh, square bracket 0 1 2 3 3.
Okay. Yeah, you are almost there. It's like, yeah, correct. So I mean, it's like it's at fourth index 0 1 2 3 4. So yeah, that is like good try is correct. So this is like how we also can do that. So basically, what is happening once you
I have
get
one
this
doubt.
one? Yep.
So we should add one more number to the index we require. For example, I said 3, right? But we want Shibuya. One, two,
Yeah. So basically, this one is like Shibuya is at 0 1 2 3 4.
4. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was it.
So I use three actually earlier, but if I execute it, it will like bring me the number.
Okay.
So it's like yeah, start with zero, like index start with zero. So index zero will be this, one will be this, 2 3 4.
Okay. Yeah, we got the
Yes.
link.
Okay. So basically this is how like we can work with dictionary and list in a single like object. So that is also nice. And now yeah, I think this one is fine. This is fine. We can shift it to the last, and then after that let's see, we have boolean. Yeah, boolean is fine. Bool is not that. So okay, so they are updating some number there, and then okay, so for that they are actually checking and all that. So yeah, that is fine. Then they are again starting some function which we covered, and methods also. So method and function is like same almost. So libraries is something, let's see what libraries they're mentioning. So now first of all what they are doing, again they are using that list, and this time they are explaining it actually a bit more. So they are using keys. I will show you like how to use keys. And then they are saying okay, okay, and then they are saying keys, values, and then functions. Okay, dictionary, this is list, this is string. Yeah, this is nice, like what they're printing and showing different data types. So this is something we can learn from. City population dot values. Okay, length, length. Okay. So basically what they are saying is simply that dictionary has some features. When you create a dictionary, you also get some features from the dictionary. So that additional features are like if you click on dot, I mean, if you type dot after dictionary, you will get automatically some list. So these are all features which dictionary support. So they are just explaining those features. So for example, one features is, let's say you want to just get the keys, not the values, but only keys. So you can use this one, dot keys, and you can wrap it into list, so that only the keys list will come. So as we know that we have two keys, right? New York City and Tokyo. So therefore those two keys are coming. Similarly, if you only want to get values, so let me explain it like here. It will be more clear in this dictionary. So if I type X, which is my dictionary name, dot keys, so what do you think will be the output?
It is A and B.
Correct. It is A and B. And if I just replace it with values, it will be the values. Right. So this is like separation. Like we can also separate keys and value and get a list of only keys or values, right? So this is something they're explaining. And after that, also we can use for loop here. So let's say in a for loop you want to run the values. So you would say for I in your dictionary dot items, and it will actually keep iterating. So I will say print. Yeah. So basically here, what will happen when you iterate a dictionary using this dot items. So it's again a feature, right, of dictionary we are using. So dot items means it actually print the whole key and value pair one by one. So just like this print a set of keys, this print a set of values, this print the whole set, like key plus values. So now we want to get it into two different variables. So generally we use it k comma v. So that means whatever the output we get. So let me first show you like directly by this, what will be the output of this. So you can see it's kind of a tuple. So tuple and list are same, but tuple actually has an additional feature that we cannot modify it. Once you create, it will be there. You cannot change the values, but list values can be changed. So but I mean that is not much difference. You will be, with time, with practice, you those things actually will come naturally. So therefore I do not want to put you on a position where you want to memorize some things, right? We are just like exploring and seeing what we can learn from by just exploring and like doing something. So here you can see that when I'm printing this set is coming. So just like keys and values, the items actually get the whole set in this way. So now what I will do, there is a way in for loop to like get these two values in a separate items object. So let's say generally we use this method k comma v, but you can use any value I, j, or a, b, anything. So key value, k and v actually represent key and value, because we know the first will be key, second will be value. And let's say you want to print some message like key. Here also I'm adding one more concept now, which is called print format. So I'm like creating a format now. So I'm saying key equal to this and value equal to this. Now I will explain like what I'm doing. So I write dot format, and then in format I mention key and v. So if I print it, it will be like a better print. So I can change it any. I mean, it is in my hand now. Like I can change the formatting here. So I'm getting the keys and values in two different variables first, and then this is called print format. So here we use two keywords, print and format. So what we do, we write our string in whatever format we want. So we want this kind of format, like key equal to will be some value which will come from variable, and also comma space again some value which will be coming from a variable. So this variable we just use curly braces in both the cases. So that way we can replace it dynamically. So here you can see that when the loop run for the first time, we get A, which was here in this K, right? And V was because in our dictionary we have like A 1 2 3, B 1 3 4. So therefore, when we run it for loop, the first one K and V was this one A and 1 2 3. So when you print it, we are assigning the values here. After you create your final dictionary, I mean, sorry, this string which you want to print, now you can use dot format. And after dot format in brackets, you can mention one line in sequence the curly braces which you used as a placeholders to put some actual values. So here I'm saying that K and V will go in this sequence. So K will automatically go here and V will go here. Another way is actually, which was actually earlier way, a bit easier, but this could be confusing at when we start Python. So this is what the standard way now. Earlier we used to also use this, which is called f string, functional string. So we just need to put f here, and we can directly mention in curly braces our values A and V. So that way, when I print it, it will like, it looks very simple, right, compared to this. So I mean, you can use this also to understand, and later on we can jump to this for format. So these are like two ways to print any values. So this is like key and v and key and v, and here we are, like you can see the color automatically changes also, because this is kind of a variable inside our string. So and when we remove the f from the beginning, it is like simple string. So if I print it, this exact string will print it, right? So therefore we need to add some f,
Can
that
we place
it can
K
identify,
and V
okay,
after? Hello.
yeah.
So in the code, first code, print of bracket key value something you wrote, right? Instead of dot format, uh, after the what do we call it? Remove the dot format, and can we place k comma v directly like in C programming? What we will do, we can keep like this.
Oh, so you're asking like if you can use this line number 3 instead of line number 2.
No, in line number 2, can we remove the dot format, and instead of dot format and the bracket, after
Oh
key
yeah,
equal to
okay,
some.
okay. Yeah, I mean, that is something we are doing, like you are saying something like this, right? I mean, remove dot format and use key and v directly here.
No, instead of remove the dot format and the bracket of k and v. So just simply write k and v like in C programming.
Okay, I mean, like I'm not getting, so remove the format, okay, and then
Remove the dot, instead of dot keep comma,
okay,
and remove the k comma v. I mean bracket of k comma v.
okay, bracket of k comma v also, something like this.
Yeah, and after the heading, like keep comma in front of k.
Oh, like this.
Yeah, we can do like that.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere here, but I do not use this format. Not sure. We can check that. So let's see if I can execute it. Okay, so it's saying like print this, and then it is printing key and v also. So it's like simple printing, but they're not taking effect here actually. But yeah, you are right. I mean, I saw, I think in some other language, I saw some this format also, maybe somewhere I saw like some people also use this way. But yeah, I mean, this is good, nice approach that we are thinking. So
I
basically,
think
this f string is very common.
in curly
Yeah,
brackets we have to keep k and v, I guess. So in key curly brackets, flower brackets.
yeah. In actually curly braces, we need to put k and v. But if we do not use f like before and it will actually print a simple values like this. So to convert this string into variable, which will be taken effect from our loop, we need to put f at the beginning, so that you can see it now convert into some other colors, which also indicate that it is now some kind of variables. So this f string format is like very common, and but generally the recommended way is to use something like this, which is easier. Also, I noticed that sometimes app is not capable of doing a lot of complex print, but formatting actually support complex printing. Like you can use a lot of logic also. Like you can write complex logic in when you are formatting something. So here we can write any function, programs, loops, and also you can print directly there. So something on those use cases. Generally, if you like advance, then people start using formatting. But I think both also like works for simple printing. Both works equally. So okay, so this one is dictionary, and then they're starting actually about libraries. So NumPy is something which we do not need. We do not use that. And but this is very popular library, like in data science. In data science, this is like one of the very must library, I would say. Like you need to learn about NumPy, and better than pandas even, because this is like all about array and all that stuff. So numbers. But for us, I mean, this is not important. For data engineering, pandas is more important. So now they are starting actually the two data types in pandas, like series and data frames. So now let's see pandas data frame. Yeah. Okay. So here we actually have some data already. So otherwise we can easily download or upload from somewhere. So horizontal line here, and let's say first of all what I need to do, I need to import pandas as PD. So I can also say simply like this, import pandas, and I just need to refer to pandas every time. So the best way is like to make a shortcut of this large name. So generally we say as PD. So that means PD also represent pandas now. So this is like very industry's favorite keyword PD. So PD is very common. So this simple line imports our pandas in our environment. Now let's say you want to load uh, any data, like you can pick let's say this CSV. So what I will say,
We can write
like,
PA also, right? Whatever the name we can give, right? Instead of PD.
yeah, P also we can write PD dot. So after PD, we say dot read CSV. So we are reading the CSV file, and we open and close the bracket. Inside we say the path. So this is a path where the CSV file is. And this way it will actually load our CSV data into a data frame. So data frame is just like a table, Excel table, but it has more features. Like you can manipulate your data frame in any way that you want. So that is like one feature. And also with time you will see like Panda support a lot of features, like loading the data from cloud directly, saving the data into databases, all that features Panda support. So but it's like how we load the data. And generally we can also like when we like execute it, it will print to the output. But we generally save also in some object. Let's say I want to save into some object. And object generally we use df also. It's very common keyword. Keyword means, I mean, it's our name that we decide to use. So df stands for data frame. So you will often see that people use df or some variant of that, but any name can be used because this is something which is a variable we are creating. So any name can be used. For example, you can say data also, data equal to this. And when you print the data, then let's see what we get. Okay, so this is like 3000 rows and 9 columns. Now this particular table is loaded into our Python. So pandas help us to do all that complex stuff behind the scene and simply provide this interface to us, pd.csv. So this way we can load the data into our Python. And now we can do all kind of operations. For example, there are some common things which I will show you. I will not show you like all the things at the same time because it will confuse you. There are like a lot of things you can do. For example, 2 or 3 common things that we generally do once we load it is data.info. This is something we do. So it actually print the summary of your data frame. So here they are saying that total 3000 entries are there, and the index is starting from 0 to the last number. It's like this. So that means total 3000 rows, like index is like serial, and then they are saying total columns are 9, and then this table of 9 columns. So column number, column this one, then they are showing how many null values are there. So let's say if you in your data frame some null values is there, like it's a missing value, so then they actually count only 2999, so that they automatically identify how many nulls are there and they calculate that. Then data types, so it's like they are saying all the data types are float is like there are 2 3 common data types like integer, float and string. So whenever you say float, that means some float values are there. So pandas do that
Decimal
automatically
points.
for us. Yeah, points. Yeah. So pandas actually identifying and doing all this for us. So it identifies, it load the data and also create a schema that it thinks is best. But sometimes the schema might or might not be correct. So we verify the schema, and also if we need to change it, we can also change the types of columns. But generally this is something by default they identified, and which I think looks correct. It all looks float, so they identified correctly the values. But here, for example, households, so here it looks like float, but maybe in business case there are requirement that population, households, this should be integers, right? But it's not pandas, they identified this float because it looks float. But maybe in scenarios where you need to correct the schema, so you might get a requirement where they can ask you to convert this float into integers because it looks like integers, all the floats are 0 after floating points. So that in those cases actually we do all those operations. But generally, like, this is something, info is first command, then we say data.head. This is also same as print, but here we can also decide how many rows you want. If you leave it blank, it will be by default 5. You can see that default number is 5. So 5 rows will come, but also you can say um, 10, for example. So the 10 rows will come, the top 10. Similarly, if you want to print something from bottom, you can say tail. Instead of head, you can say tail. It will actually print from the bottom. So this is like how we can navigate, load the data and also explore. And then, there are other operations also, like list kind of operations you can do. Here also in Panda, slicing works. So in slicing, again, the same concept will apply, like from starting from 0, and also rows and columns you can slice. So those kind of operations we can easily do here. But slowly, I think uh, pandas is something which is very important, and I think this covers basics, and the same pattern you will see a lot. Now more operations of pandas will soon coming, like one by one we are going to add one feature after another. But this is like how pandas generally work. So they are saying data set 0.head 5, okay, then SQL query result data variables. So they are explaining one feature of this, like if there is missing value and you want to replace it with something, so you can fill those missing values with a blank space. So it's like this is something we can do, fill any. Okay, data set they are explaining. So they are using some data set, then they're understanding one by one each column. And then sampling, okay, sampling. So yeah, this is like how we can select the particular column. So if you just pass the column name, we can get the values of the column. And yeah, So what is the difference between series and data frame? So basically, data frame is like a collection of series. So each column will be a series, and that series, when you combine like this series, or more than one series, you will get a data frame. And if somebody asks you like, okay, is a single series could be data frame? Yes, because single series also we can convert into data frame. So that is something, but I mean, remember that data frame is just like combination of series. So series is also data types that Panda support. It has Pandas data type features, but on top of series, when we combine multiple series like this one, it becomes a data frame. So selecting rows, yeah, now they're explaining about slicing and all that stuff. So selecting rows is simply like this. So can you explain me like what this is doing based on the knowledge that we have about list?
It starts from 0 and ends with 3.
Correct. So it's like
And I think a
printing,
row,
yeah, until
3, 0 to 3 means 4. Like the number will be 4, but index minus 1. No, 0, 1, 2, no. So it will print only 0, 1, 2 because 3 minus
correct.
1. Yeah.
Correct. So it's like the last index which you mentioned, it do not consider that. It's like from the start, but only up to 2. Yeah. So this is like how we're doing. Then again, slicing, they are doing another slice. And here, what you guess the numbers, how many rows will be there of index 4, 5, and 6, right? 3, because 7 will be ignored here.
Yeah.
There also, I think in notes they are saying, but not including index 7. So I would suggest, I mean, if you find time, go through this link and also read the notes and practice again. That will be like good exercise. And now I think they are like up to last, but from this. Now starting from here, they're printing all 3. And yeah, I mean, this is important, ilog and log. So let me show you this. So ilog is actually index location. The full form is index location, ilog. So the reason we use it is like you can mention the particular position. For example, if I say data dot, this is like very hard concept to understand. And when I started Python, I mean, for a long time, I was not able to understand this. But I mean, this is something which we typically use like for slicing, which is also very like a handy tool. Like ilog and log actually makes things very easy to work with. So let's say you want to grab this particular value, right? So how will you do that? I mean,
We
ilog will
have
be, I would give you a hint. So it's like,
0, 1, 2,
okay,
2 of and square bracket 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3. No,
okay,
yeah. No. After 2 again square bracket and in square bracket 3.
okay.
3, 5, 8. So 0. No. It starts with 2990, right? 0, 1, 2. So, okay. Longitude 0, 1, 2, 3, 5.
So remember that actually data is like data tail, but data actually still has all the 3000
Okay. It's a
rows.
tail, right? Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
tail, right? Yeah. I'm thinking like it starts with 2990 and ends with
Okay.
uh okay. 3 is correct, I guess. We need to write only for row. It's 2992 means 2991 or 2993. Yeah, 2991.
And here 3.
3, I guess. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
That's correct. Huh?
So remember that index is automatically starting from 0 up to this number. So it's
Yeah,
like just
then it's
this index.
2991, right? Yeah, then it will be 299.
So this will print our number. Also, we can like mention it with comma, like row and column. And now let's say you want to print these three. So what you will do then?
Same data dot ilog bracket 2994. But I have one doubt. It starts with 0, right? Then we should do -1 from the number. Like, yeah, in the previous one it is 2992, right? So since it starts with 0, we should
So
write only 299.
index will be this one, right? Because it automatically start with 0. So we don't have to like
Okay,
separate
okay,
out.
got it. Yeah, I got it. I got it now. I got it. So
So
now
in this one, if you want to print this
2994,
thing, okay.
2994,
Hmm.
uh, comma 3 colon 0
Hmm.
1 2 3 0 1 to 2 colon 2 colon 4 2 colon 5.
2:5. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, bracket is there, like 2 colon 5.
Okay.
Yeah, people. Yeah. Like I
I
already
will be
did some
explaining like these things also,
like I
like what
already
these
did my like
additional parameters are doing.
yeah.
So yeah, correct. Good job. So this is like how we can slice up things. I think you understood this, like how to slice things up.
Yeah, I already did like one or two projects on data analysis, so I don't find it that much difficult to understand.
Oh, great, great. So yeah, we will like speed this up then. So
Yeah.
yeah. So tomorrow actually, what we'll do, I think I would suggest you can read the whole guide and you can directly ask questions if you have any, and we can like. But I think you will not find question because their explanation is good. So basically, we also tell you like what you can ignore in there. So after data frame, plot I think is not required. You can this value count is something which is very easy, like value count just. But plot also you can ignore. Plot is not required, and we have um, filtering data. Okay, they are saying fill a name, then indexing. Okay, value count and all that. Then driving new columns and function. Okay, import pandas. Then this one list and print in operator. Okay, if else. Okay, yeah, this function is good. Like whatever we understood about function, you will get revision also here. Return statement, for example, they're explaining it with theory and all. So return and all. Yeah, this you can get like this defining Python functions. This you can cover. Then group by, yeah, group by is also important. Lambda group by, yeah, these two you can cover. Group by lambda pivot if you want you can cover or ignore. So I mean all these are like pretty standard. I would suggest just go through them and let me know if any issues come, and we will discuss there. Otherwise we will start from our next topic, because I would be assuming that Python basics, this will cover like this guide, whatever they have, it will cover Python basics for you, and whatever doubt we have we will like uh, resolve in tomorrow's early session, and then after that we'll start our topic.
Okay. So my work is to complete this guide, right, for today.
Yeah, your homework is to complete their tutorial on Python. So this will cover the basic, then we'll start the advanced Python where we will be like learning the specific things which we do in data engineering. So I will be showing you couple of codes in Python which is like actual use cases which we need to develop, and idea is to understand the structure of Python code there, so that when we actually move to some use cases we do not find difficulty in understanding the Python code there. So that is our target.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is
Anything
Ravi?
else?
Ravi dropped?
I
Okay.
think he left in the middle.
No, I think for today's we are done and we are on time. So, but feel free to for example, the feedback that we provided that you already did the project on slicing, so that is comfortable. So with that, we can even move faster. Like whatever topic you're
Ye-
comfortable with already,
Yeah.
we can like skip those, right?
Or else we can do one thing. If you give me the like basic sketch like you given today, I can complete that. If I have any doubts, I can ask in the next class so that we can move fastly.
Yeah, I mean, sounds good. So what I will do, I need to actually collect those codes from my notes. So what I will do, you can ping me whenever you complete this guide, and after that I will like try to find you and send you in group the code that we have in advance, and then you can also review them. Yeah, this is a good idea.
Tahir,
Hello. Yes, Spar.
yeah, can you create a group for four of us, like for me, Ravi, Sparsh, and Tahir? Like you can send the links directly in the group. If we have any doubts, we can ask in the group also, right? So instead of all
Actually,
these,
Pawan, I can't create the group because Dave told me that whatever the information do you want to share with me, I'll share with them. So
I
you
will
can
speak.
talk with
I
Dave.
will speak with the. Yeah, I will speak with the.
Okay.
Okay.